In this video, we're going to go over exactly what we've learned from working with hundreds of IUL life insurance agents across the country, and specifically what we've noticed with those that are closing 30K plus every month consistently, and the things that they all have in common that they do. So whether you currently sell IULs or you want to start selling more IULs, then hopefully this video will help you make a lot more money. So the first thing that we notice that they all have in common, all of the top producers have in common, is that they view it as their moral responsibility to make sure that the family on the other end of the phone that they're talking to gets protected. They view themselves as life insurance agents first, and then they can also help with the retirement planning in addition to the life insurance. So if you get a lead that is an IUL lead, I'd say more than 60% of our IUL leads have the main priority being life insurance protection, especially the ones that don't have any life insurance set up. The cash value for these people are just a nice bonus. So one mistake that we see a lot of people make that struggle with selling IULs is they treat every single lead like they want to structure it for cash value. And that's just simply not the case. If you have somebody whose main priority is life insurance protection and you're talking about cash value accumulation, like you can mention it, but you don't want to sell hard on it because that's not what's important. Most of these people come in and they want life insurance protection for their family. The cash value is a nice bonus for them. They don't have any life insurance protection. They don't want term because the term expires 20, 30 years later down the road. It's going to be a lot more expensive to get. They don't want to do whole life because for the same amount of protection, it tends to be more expensive. So they are attracted to the IUL. And this next part is huge. The people who do this make, on average, from what we've seen, over 8 times more than the people who don't. And it goes back to what your moral obligation is. If your moral obligation is to get as many families protected as possible, especially the ones that don't have life insurance, then you want to do a one-call close. This does not mean that you're being pushy. The people who do this that make money, it's the least pushy call that you would ever hear. 90%, if not more, of your calls should be one-call closes. Now, if you have a big IUL, then they want to structure it for cash value and they're $600,000, $800,000 a month, then maybe with that, then you would do a second call. But 90% or more of your calls will be one-call closes. We just had an agent in his first month as a life insurance agent, brand new to the industry, did over $28,000. If you're somebody, and I know that a lot of IMOs and people teach you got to do a second call, you got to do a third call to build trust and to make them know that you know what you're doing. But it's simply, if your goal is to make money and to get families protected, the first call, you should be able to close it. You don't have to be high pressure because in reality, you don't know, you can talk about the IUL until you're blue in the face, but it's all hypothetical until we know if they can get approved or not. So you need to put in an application to see if they can get approved. You can always post-date the payment, right? If they're approved and they don't want it, they have the 30-day free look period. If you have to mention that, you can close these without being pushy on one call. If you do a second call, especially a third call, your chances of closing drop significantly because life insurance is important for people to have. I have a 2-year-old daughter and a wife, and I need to make sure that they're protected if I'm gone. It's very important for people to have. I've seen it with people in my family, how important it is when somebody passes, because in the hardest time of their life, when they're mourning the loss of their loved one, their father, their husband, you don't want them to also have to worry about financial troubles and putting a for sale sign in their yard. And that's just the reality of it. It's not trying to hard sell. And like I said, I know a lot of people are coaching, a lot of IMOs are telling their people to not do this, to do 2 and 3 calls, but we work with right now almost 200 life insurance agents, and the ones who make the most money do one-call closes, and their chargeback rate is very low as well because they know how to maintain the relationship after they close them. So one-call closes does not mean that you're going to get chargeback on. Now, you could very easily hard sell somebody into an application, but if you do that, your chargeback rate will be higher. So it's all about knowing how to do the one call without being pushy. This is something that we help our agents do. Anytime that somebody buys leads from us, we also give them a setter. So if you buy 100 leads, you have a setter calling all 100 of your leads, because the worst part about being a life insurance agent and buying leads is becoming a call center. So you'll have somebody calling your leads and setting appointments for you. But something else that we do is we help you master that one call close. So if you want to find out more about that, go ahead and click the link down in the description. And if you want to find out more about scaling your business and your career and making more money as a life insurance agent, then make sure to watch this video here, and I'll catch you later.